Rubber Von Ducker here again, back once again with a foul behaviour. And yesterday I got pulled into the spider's web, the RDR2 spider's web, thanks to this video by Dark Myth Hunter. In this video, he postulates that previous clues with the guitars are incorrect and that the guitar isn't actually pointing to the tower but is actually pointing further away, specifically to Window Rock. Now, if you go to Window Rock, you'll find there's a mural, presumably a Native American mural, which depicts a number of birds, which he initially thought were eagles, but I actually think are thunderbirds, due to the fact that thunderbirds, depending on the tribal legend, are either black and red feathered or multicolored feathers. Either way, I don't know many other birds that would have red and black feathers, so it leads me to believe it's a thunderbird. Now, this led to a very unfortunate comment where I suggested that it may be a crafting scenario, given that the people who worshipped the thunder god or respected the thunder god, might be closer, usually had trinkets for protection or totems in protection representing the thunderbird. Now, mention does have to be given here to both the channel How I Play and James Bond on a Budget, both of whom took my comments on board and did an investigation, sadly fruitlessly, because I realised when I woke up this morning that 8 feathers is a bit excessive to craft a trinket. Furthermore, it struck me that the fact that the feathers are 2 separate colours implies not a trinket but a sequence, initially thinking it would be black, red, black, red, black, red, black, but that's not the right numbers of feathers. So I then dug a little deeper and found the RDR2 wiki page for this mystery, and there I found some interesting details which confirm things I thought, but also gave me a bit more information. Now, one of the things I'd considered, having watched Dark Myth Hunter's video, is that there is a relationship between spiders and dream catchers. And as you can see from the wiki page, the feathers on the webs are called spider dream in the files, again indicating a connection between dream catchers and this mystery. Further, it goes on to state that if you collect all the dream catchers in the side mission, it doesn't actually make the mission disappear in the log, so effectively it's not completed. This says to me that you need to complete the dream catchers side mission to be able to complete this mystery. Further, I'd postulated there was a connection between, and I'm going to say this wrong, the Wapiti tribe and the feathers. And again, in the game files, the texture names for the feathers are Wap Gen Feather, which again seems to indicate there is a link. Now, the final interesting thing from this wiki article is that in 2019, Rockstar released an update to GTA 5, which inserted a new arcade machine, which alludes to this quest. Now, if this was content, I don't think they'd highlight their error or issues in the game development, so we can presume that this is actually a live mission and that it is completable. And that brings us back to Dark Myth Hunter's video. In the video, he goes to Window Rock and finds a mural and postulates as a connection between the number of feathers on the birds, whether they're eagles or thunderbirds, and that this is part of the answer. Now, unfortunately, I think he's incorrect on this. He's right that the mural is connected, but he's drawn the wrong conclusion. So what's the right conclusion, I hear you say? Well, let's look at the birds again. You'll notice there's 7 birds in total around a central circle. 4 of them are upright and 3 of them are upside down. I believe the ones who are upside down represent the red feathers, whilst the others represent the black feathers. And interestingly, when I woke up this morning, it also occurred to me that there's 8 feathers and they could correspond with points on the compass. North, south, east, west, and northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. 8 different directions. But I hear you cry, there's only 7 eagles or thunderbirds. Well, if you look at the centre of the mural, there is actually another eagle in the centre, again upright. So that would take us to 3 upside down birds and 5 right way up birds, for a total of 8. I think the mural is literally a code of the sequence that needs to be used, which brings us to the final point. I also postulated last night that they may have a connection to a medicine wheel, but I couldn't remember there being a medicine wheel in the game. However, there is one over by Strawberry, and I suspect that might be where you need to go with the feathers to unlock whatever the reward is. I presume you may well get a Thunderbird totem. The interesting thing with that is if you do, it's most likely going to have a benefit that offers protection or some kind of health benefit, which means you probably can't go there as Arthur. You probably have to go as John Marston. Sadly, as my PS4 died a while back after I completed RDR2, my current one, I'm only on chapter 2, so I've got a lot of work to do before I get to a position to meet the criteria. So it's down to you guys to see if this works. But effectively, the mural gives you the sequence. Right way up birds equals black feathers. Upside down birds means red feathers. Hopefully that will be what finalizes this quest. So I've been the Rubber Von Ducker. Be seeing you.